In 1949, countless sick people from all over the world flocked to Bruno Gröning. Many hoped for healing. Some even offered him money, so that he would make them healthy again. There was also money in letters of request. How did Gröning deal with it? When the first reports of unbelievable healings circulated in Herford in the spring of 1949, critics feared that Gröning was a fraud, a charlatan, who only wanted to enrich himself, who only wanted to exploit the plight of the sick. But it soon became clear, Bruno Gröning took no money for the healings.
Ich habe nicht einen einzigen Fall erlebt.
I haven't seen a single case where I was credibly told that he took money or even demanded it. Of course, that would have alerted me. But I only heard that there was a plate on the table. You could have put something in it. But he didn't ask for or even demand anything.
Hat nichts.
Hat eigentlich nie Geld genommen.
He really never accepted money. It was more those around him who were concerned with it. And it's a shame that he was blamed for things that are not supported by the facts.
Nicht den Tatsachen entsprach.
A lot was written in the press afterward and later about how he would have been able to live very well from what he received. But I was never asked for anything.
Von mir ist nie etwas verlangt worden.
And then my father said, Mr. Gröning, what do I owe you? Nothing at all, he said.
Mein Mann wurde nervös und versuchte.
And my husband became nervous and tried to pull out his wallet and wanted to give him money. Mr. Gröning was already at the door, and my husband wanted to put money in his pocket. I don't know how much it was, but in any case it was a lot. And he said kindly, but very firmly, no, don't give it to me. Give it to the poor. It wasn't me who helped you. God did it.
The opportunity to earn money was enormous in 1949, at the time of the mass gatherings. Tempting offers were made not only to Gröning himself, but also to his employees.
People came there, rich Americans who even flew here from New York. They would offer you something, would lay a ring down on the table and say, "Here, I'll give you this, take me to Gröning now." But that wasn't right. That wasn't right at all. They would take out their car keys. "Here, the car's yours." At that time, that was damn tempting, you know. We couldn't even consider owning a car.
Not all employees of Gröning could resist the temptation. Even those who stayed at his side, out of gratitude for the healings they had experienced, managed to line their own pockets. Others tried to get close to Gröning just to profit from his abilities. Such people unscrupulously exploited the plight of the sick and ruthlessly collected money. Of course, this harmed Bruno Gröning's reputation a lot, yet he always rigorously rejected to charge for healing.
Several physicians and professors, I didn't notice all their names, wanted to win over Gröning for the treatment of their patients. But naturally, that turned out to be for their own profit. Gröning once said, "He who has received this talent, it is a gift from God and cannot be sold. As soon as I accept money, this gift will be extinguished."
Geld annehme, erlischt diese Gabe.
Es ist ein kosmisches Gesetz.
There is a cosmic law. When someone asks payment for the gift God has given him, his power will decrease, and the gift will be taken away.
Ihm wird die Gabe genommen.
Bruno Gröning could have become one of the richest people of his time if he had sold health and cared only for sick people who were rich.
Ich habe aber den Eindruck, dass nie ein Mann war.
But I had the impression that he was never a man who had the desire to draw people to him, or maybe make people pay, or to gather only wealthy patients around him and sort them out, like, who will I take and who won't I take? All in all, he just wanted to help people.
Das alles, wollte den Menschen helfen.
Since 1949, Bruno Gröning dedicated himself entirely to his mission to help the sick. He travelled to them, gave lectures, founded communities, but he took no money for the healings. So what did he live on?
There was a bowl on the table because everyone had wondered, how does Bruno Gröning get here and back? We have to do something. He has to have something for his travel expenses. So the bowl was there and anyone who wanted to could put something into it. But he never asked anyone for anything.
konnte das in die Schale werfen, aber verlangt hat niemand was.
Although Bruno Gröning's financial situation in the 1950s was anything but rosy, and burdened by various lawsuits and financial claims from former employees, he never allowed himself to be tempted to heal for money.
Jetzt verschiedene überall Geld.
Different people would lay money everywhere around here. And a few times he said, "Take back your money," but they didn't take their money back. Then Mr. Gröning gathered up the money and put it in a woman's pocket. And it turned out later that the woman he had given the money to was a poor war widow. And she couldn't believe that something like that could still happen.
Gröning das Geld gegeben hat. Und die konnte sich ja nicht mehr fassen, dass sowas noch gibt.
Und da erlebte ich was Interessantes.
And then I experienced something interesting. He suddenly showed us how much money he had. He dug into his pockets, sort of like this, and then he laid 37 cents on the table. That was all he had. Also, I never saw him take any money.
Dass je ein Geld angenommen hat.
Ich habe nie den Eindruck von ihm gehabt.
I never got the impression from him that he placed much worth in money. It never played a role in my presence, whether someone was rich or poor.
Reich war oder arm.
Eben Geld war für ihn unwichtig.
Money was unimportant for him. What was? Well, the most important thing in life for most people was unimportant for him. The simple laws of life, they were important for him. He was a very simple, modest man.
Bescheidener Mensch.